Hello everyone, Frankster here, and today I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks on Tetris. Specifically, how to get high scores. Well, okay, that's the main focus. There might be other things in there. Why don't we just get into it? There are three main ways to get a lot of points in Tetris. The first way is to get Tetrises. That's when you make 4 lines by using the long piece. That one's pretty simple, but it also gives you lots of points. The second thing is T-spins. I'll show you how to do a T-spin now. In order to do a T-spin, you want to have a setup where you have a T-shaped slot for your T-piece to go in. And then you need to, you also need to have basically like a ceiling so that so it counts as a T-spin. So the slot is much more recognizable as a T. And then you want to put down your T-piece in a way that you can, when you rotate it, it fits right into that slot, as you're going to see now. There are many different types of T-spins. Specifically 3, I think. Maybe it's 4 or maybe 5. There's the mini T-spin where you don't make any lines, but it still fits the how to do a T-spin. Then there's single T-spin when you make 1 line with that T-piece. And then there's also the double T-spin, where you make 2 lines with the T-piece. The third and final way to get a lot of points in Tetris is to do an all-clear. All-clears are arguably the hardest of the 3 to do. But they are able to be done with any piece, with maybe a few exceptions. For example, the Z piece. All clears are when you make lines and have no blocks at all left on the board. You can see me doing a all clear in episode 6 of my Frankster Plays Tetris series. Those also get you tons of points. And the the amount of points you get depends on which version you're doing, along with the level and also how many lines you made when doing that thing. So, for example, a T-spin on the mobile version of Tetris on the first level, if you do a double T-spin, it will give you 1,200 points. Not as much as if you were on level 5, for example. But still quite a few. Many of the pros use these 3 strategies to get a ton of points. Or, in Tetris 99, the multiplayer version of Tetris for Switch, they use it to throw a lot of garbage blocks at their opponents. Another tip I have has to do with the Z or whatever they are pieces, the ones that sort of zigzag. Those, you can also spin them into place, though they're much harder to spin into place than the T pieces, and you don't get anything special for it. I have not done much of the Z spinning that much. Redundant speech is redundant. Anyways, I have not done much of the Z spinning. It's extremely hard to do, and you don't get much from it. So why would you do it? I mean, if you need to do it, like, in a pinch, maybe I understand that. But anyways, my next tip has to do with the start of the game. Oftentimes, you may have a Z piece or N piece as your starting piece. Those are very bad starting pieces. But if it's often very good to hold those right at the beginning. It will give you a chance to actually get more points for, like, hard drops and stuff like that, along with having a more natural looking board, I guess. Another tip I have, which I rarely use because it gets too hectic for me or I'm just too focused on the main game, is to look at the sidebar that has the next 3 to 5 pieces. It will help you a lot. Another tip I have is that you should take advantage of how slow the pieces move at the start, so that once it gets really fast, you've already gotten plenty of points. What I mean by this is, try to keep on doing Tetrises and maybe even T-spins at the start. And then, once it gets too hectic for you, let go of that strategy and just keep on trying to make lines. It will help your score in the long run. Another really easy thing to do at the start of the game that gets harder as you go is to take a moment and really find the best place for each one of the pieces. Don't immediately hard drop it where you think it should go. Actually take some time to look for the best option. With the hold function, the two pieces you want to hold the most are the T piece and the long piece. I personally hold the long piece a lot because I try and do plenty of Tetrises. But also, I don't use it immediately once I'm able to get a Tetris. I try and wait until I get a long piece just naturally. The reason I do this is so that I actually have a useful hold piece for when I need it in emergencies. Based on an article that I've seen, Tetris can actually help relieve stress, or at least give you... It's also a sort of cure for PTSD. And even though it may cause some stress while you're playing it, in the long run, it will actually help you with stress. The reason I'm including this fact is because it is still technically a tip/trick, only not for in-game. Tetris is best played when you're comfortable, but don't make yourself so comfortable that you're not focused on the game. But if you're not comfortable, you will lose focus and instead focus on trying to get more comfortable. Coming back to all clears can more easily be done when you're trying to get Tetrises, too. Because it's easier to keep track of how many blocks you need for a line. I have not ever gotten an all clear when getting a Tetris, though. But all clears are extremely hard to do. Think that's it for today. Bye!